What's going on, everybody? What's going on? So, man, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope y'all looking good, feeling good, and enjoying this amazing Saturday. Thank you for tapping in. Let me know where you from. Let me know where you from. Tap in where you from and tell me something. I don't know. Give me your favorite emoji, right? Post up your favorite emoji, right? Post up your favorite emoji, right? Post up your favorite emoji. Let me know how you guys are doing. I'm doing good. South Africa, good afternoon. How you feeling? All right. So today I got a special guest for you, right? It's my brother from another mother. His name is Sheldon, right? And he talks about money. He's in a financial business, where we're both in a financial business together. But he's going to come on. He's going to talk about relationships, being single, being married, right? And we're going to do a question and answer towards the end for those who just wants to talk about relationships, get something from his point of view. But he's a very intelligent brother, and I'm going to bring him on so we can talk about, setting yourself up for success if you're in a relationship right now, if you're dating, if you're single, or even if you're married, right? So this is going to be amazing. Stick on, enjoy your Saturday with us, right? Callie is here. I don't even know how to pronounce that other word, what country that is, but I'm going to bring on Sheldon right now. She is crazy. Let's wait for him to do it, all right? And I want everybody, all my followers, there he is. What's going on, Sheldon?
Hey, what's going on, Keishorne? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, man. Could you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man, it's really good to have you on. I know we were on a team meeting about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, and you was killing it with the information that we were speaking about, right? And I was like, you know what? We got to get on here to talk about relationships, being single, setting yourself up for financial success. And people think that relationships, right? Matter of fact, before I even get into it, because I talk too much, tell people who you are, where you're from, and just give them a little background.
Okay, no problem. Well, my name is Sheldon Jean-Baptiste, for those who don't know me. I'm located in Brooklyn, New York. I'm a vice president with Primerica Financial Services. It's a financial firm on the New York Stock Exchange. And I'm 29 years old. And and I'm a financial professional. I coach people about money. I show people how to improve their financial situation.
Also, you say you're a financial professional. You're also a marriage professional because you're married too. So you kind of like a relationship professional too, right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And, money and relationships kind of go hand in hand.
Okay, that's good. But, for those people, some people might think that, okay, money isn't important, right? Like it's all about love, right? I always tell people that love is not enough, right? You still need to be respected, right? You still need emotional support, right? You still need spiritual support. You still need mental support, right? So for the money standpoint, right, for finances, why is it so important for a single person, right, to be financially independent or even financially stable in order to enter a relationship?
Well, I think it's very important for single people to be, financially in a great position, only because I always tell people that if you're not happy with yourself, it's gonna be very difficult to make somebody else happy. Does that make sense, right? And somebody's finances, right? It's a part of that process, right? So by you having your finances in order, it kind of puts you in a position where your life is in order, right? And that you're able to bring somebody else into your space, right? And create a future with them, right? And where you guys can now add on to what you already have going on. Does that make sense, right? And you feel
Yeah.
right. Are you able to hear me better, Keishorne?
Yeah.
Okay. Good, perfect. It just puts you in a position where you're now more attractive, right? Because whether you're a woman or whether you're a male, you want to be in a relationship with someone who has their finances in order and who knows what they want out of life and pretty clear with their direction.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, right? Because the fact that you have to be financial stability, for me, it's kind of like a maturity thing, right? It tells me that you got your life in order, and it tells me that you don't only have your finances in order, but you're taking the necessary steps to set yourself up for success and also set your family up for success. You know, so what do you believe should be like for family, right? Finances for family. What do you think is the necessary steps for you to take in order to secure your family's financial future?
Well, I think the first thing is just for our viewers and our listeners that out there. Are you able to hear me clear, Keishorne? I want to make sure the
A
message is
little
coming.
bit. If it could be a little bit louder, it would be perfect.
Okay, maybe if I come closer to the phone, is that better?
Yeah, I think it is. Or you got your volume on all the way?
My volume's all the way up. I'm not sure.
You got an Android?
Yeah, I had an iPhone actually.
Okay. Android users. I'm just saying Android users. Okay. No, that's all right.
Okay.
Fine.
All right, no problem. Well, one of the things that you have to understand that the number one problem in marriage, or the number one cause of number one reason for divorce, is money. Does that make sense? Money breaks up a lot of relationships. And if you're just in the dating process, or you're married, or you're engaged, or you're just in a serious relationship, conversations about money should come up. Does that make sense, right? Couples have to know each other's level of financial education. That way they can grow together. Does that make sense? And you guys might not have the same beliefs about money, right? So so there has to be that, that, because when you enter a relationship, what you have to understand that you're sacrificing and that you're giving up something for having this person in your life. Yeah. Does that make sense, right? So you got to be able to meet each other in the middle, because if you don't know how to meet each other in the middle, especially when it comes to the topic of money, that can cause a lot of friction down the road. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, so some things I recommend for couples is that you guys should be, reading books together about money, going to seminars, right? And it's not, in certain relationships, right? You counsel people all the time. Yeah. You might hear that he handles the money or she handles the money. It's not she handles the money or he handles the money. It's we handle the money. Does that make sense, right? Because if we're doing this thing together and two heads are better than one, can't we have a much more successful outcome if we're both hands on? Does that make sense?
Sheldon, let me stop you right there, right? Because my wife is on here, right? And you just said we handle the money.
Yes.
Right? Which she's gonna start thinking that she's gonna handle the money now. Right? So my wife is on here, she's gonna come back to me or text me. She's gonna be, okay, you hear that? You hear what Sheldon just said? He said we handle the money. So now what's yours is mine. Can I hold something, right? But anyway, I understand that really good because, my wife and I, we weren't always financially stable,
Right.
Financial stability, financial literacy is a destination. It's not something that comes just like that, right? And I think people need to understand that. And that's the same thing as running a business. A business is a destination. You go from point A to point B. And, people on my followers and everybody, I had a lot of success from writing books. I got 5 books. From running the businesses. And when I first started running a business, I was making a lot of mistakes financially that was costing me a lot of money, right? But also not even causing me a lot of money, but putting my family a step back.
Yes.
We put our step back, right? We know nothing about life insurance, right? We started talking about life insurance when people started passing away, right?
Wow.
Financial businesses blew up last year because there was a lot of people passing away from COVID, passing away from sickness. And then you had the pandemic, you had the pandemic death, but then you had the natural stuff that usually happens during the year because of people were sick. So I had to shift my mindset a little bit from me, like you said it perfectly just now, and I want to thank you for that. I had to switch my mindset from me to we. Right. A lot of people, we have that mindset like, well, me, I got to be secure. But I started thinking about Chloe, right? I started thinking about my daughter. I started thinking about my wife. I started thinking about, where do I see, like, if I wasn't here right now, is my family secure? Do they have to struggle after I'm gone? Would they have to beg after I'm gone? Would they have to eat after I'm gone? You know what I'm saying? So what are some things that families could set up for themselves to secure, like if something was to happen during COVID, if they were to lose their job or something like that, how can you help them? Or how can they help themselves?
Well, like you said earlier, obviously, during this pandemic, unfortunately, we've had a lot of people that passed away. A lot of husbands, a lot of wives have passed away, right? So when it comes to the topic of finances, life insurance is something that you could definitely establish, something you could definitely put in place, because what life insurance is, it represents security. Right? It's like if I'm in a relationship with a person, we have goals, we have dreams, right? So, but life happens. Things can happen unexpectedly. So basically, when the person passes away, now all those goals and all those dreams are kind of put on hold a little bit. Does that make sense,
Yeah.
right? So what life insurance does, it at least gives the the surviving spouse a chance to not just grieve, but a chance to at least financially be in a place where she doesn't have to worry about how she's going to pay the mortgage,
Yeah.
how she's going to pay the the car payment, how she's going to pay private school, right? She can grieve in in financial peace. Does that make sense,
Oh,
right?
I like that
And
one. I like that.
exactly, right? And so that's definitely one of the things. If you're in the dating process right now, you got to have that talk about life insurance with your husband or with your wife, right? And see what their their belief is about that, because that is definitely a security blanket that's important when it comes to marriage and money.
Yeah, yeah. So let's dig a deep into your life. Like, who handles the finances in your marriage?
I would like to say we both do.
Okay, you would like to say it, but is it true?
Yes. I mean, I'm a little bit more hands-on, but
Okay.
we definitely both do. One things I do, I don't make a financial decision without running it by my wife first.
Ooh, I
Follow me,
hope
right?
they got that. I mean,
Right?
I kind of mess up on that part. I ain't gonna lie, because
Yeah.
I like buying nice things. So I will come home with nice things, and she will be like, okay, when did you buy this? But I always come with a nice thing for her too, so it kind of
Yes.
evens it out, you know. But
Yes.
that was a really good point. Why is that
Uh,
important though? Making a financial decision with your partner.
it can just cause a lot of one is respect. If I'm saying right, is saying that you value my opinion and
Hmm.
what you think that what
Hmm.
I have to say is important. Does that make
Hmm.
sense, right? And it just really it can cause some turmoil down the road, especially if that decision doesn't go the way you thought it would go. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a backup plan in a sense where let me
Yeah,
make sure I run it by her first, just in case it doesn't work
yeah,
out. She can't say
yeah,
I told you so, if you know what I
yeah.
mean.
But you know what it is? A lot of people think that they can make the decision for the entire marriage. And I think that's when there's a disconnect in the marriage and in the relationship, because there's always this one person that says, you know what, I know what I'm doing. Let me handle this because you don't know. We cancel out our partner without even asking for their opinion.
Yep.
We assume that they don't know anything, that they're not financially literate, that they haven't been through anything financial in their life. So sometimes we assume that I like my wife, like Princess, she knows a lot about finances. She knows a lot about those things as well. But if I'm in my ego, right, and I feel like as if I know everything, and you just sit back because you're a woman, right, and you don't know nothing about making money, and that's how a lot of relationships fail. Because the man, we
Mhm.
feel like we know everything, and the woman knows nothing. So you should stay in a woman's place and let me handle everything. Because if you do it, you're gonna mess it up.
Right.
And that's how a lot of relationships fail. And that's why there's a disconnect, a financial disconnect that causes a lot of issues in a relationship, and then an emotional disconnect because if the finances are wrong, are not stable. Guess what? You ain't getting no booty in your marriage. You ain't getting. When a woman is fed up, your marriage is going down. Your
Exactly.
marriage is going
Exactly.
down. If the finances is not going good, and then she's emotionally scarred, she's mentally drained from you and your
Exactly.
disrespect, right? And then you're
Hmm.
not praying for her, or you're not praying with her.
Yep.
You're not making love to that woman at all. She's gonna go to sleep, put the covers over her head, turn her
Yep.
face, and it is over.
Exactly. 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 Because for women, when women chase security, women want
Hmm.
security, especially when it comes to a marriage. That's what women want. They are really security conscious. Men, we're naturally risk takers. We're security conscious to an extent, but
Hmm.
we are risk takers. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? It's just the way we are. But women want security. So if you're a man in a relationship, or you're a man looking to pursue a relationship with a woman, you're your finances have to be in order, because what that shows that woman that, wow, I'm safe here. Does that make sense, right? I'm safe here. If I have an emergency or a family member, something goes wrong, I know my partner, he can hold it down. Does that make
Yeah.
sense, right? He's in a situation where he can provide and protect. And as a man, right? And as a woman too, but as a man, really, that's what we're supposed to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Provide and protect. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, and I like that too, that you put both of the genders in it, because it doesn't exclude the woman, but we know
No,
that
it
it's
does not.
responsibility of the man, right? And I love how you kind of like told the women that, hey, listen, if you want to, you could. It's on the table. but you still have to allow your man to be a man and provide and also offer you that security as well. So I think that's what the one of the good points is. And I had a conversation with a friend the other day, right? And he said something crazy about life insurance, right? I want you to get this, right? And I want everyone stay on, right? And put some questions in a question bar. And if we're doing a good job, if you're getting information and this information is changing a situation and you want to learn more or whatever it is, follow Sheldon. If you're from Sheldon's page, follow me and let us know that we're doing a good job. Give us a thumbs up or give us 100. Let us know. But one thing that he said, right, is that he said that how he's not leaving back anything for his kids, right? He said, yo, I was like, you don't have the life insurance. I'm trying to, get him involved in financial literacy. We had a conversation, a business meeting. He said, no, I'm not leaving back nothing for my kids because they're going to spend it and mess up their life anyway. So I'm good. And I said, no, but what about your wife, right? I don't know if he's on here right now, but I said, I don't care. But it's my friend. But I was like, what about your wife? He was like, oh, nah, she got to know how to work hard. I'm like, how she's going to work hard when she's grieving? She just lost her husband. She has 3 kids. She still has to manage the 3 kids, right? She just lost her husband. She has to manage 3 kids. And then on top of it, she has to pay the bills. She got to pay for your funeral. She got to pay for the transportation.
Exactly. Yep.
She got to pay for the bills, right? Of course, your debt is wiped out, but still, you still, she have bills that she has to pay. So that was the most selfish, from your point of view. From my point of view, it's the most selfish thing, right? Ever for somebody to say that they don't want to leave anything for their spouse or their kids. But what is your
No, I totally agree. It is very selfish. And a lot of it too, it has to do with the upbringing, to be honest with you, Keishorne. A lot of the way we view money has to do with our upbringing. Does that make sense, right? And that person could have been in a position where maybe their parents didn't leave them anything and they think that's the way things are supposed to be. Do you know what I mean? Right? So instead of wanting to do better, they want to continue to train the same traditions. Does that make sense, right? Instead of breaking that generational curse, right? That's what I suggest, but that is not a smart. That is not a smart move at all. The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children. Does that make sense, right? And life insurance is a way to create generational wealth, right? If I'm in a position where I don't have a whole lot of savings, I want to put myself in a position where I can establish life insurance. Like I have 2.2 million worth of life insurance. If I die, right now my wife lives a certain type of lifestyle. If I'm not around, doesn't she still deserve to live that lifestyle? Doesn't my children still deserve to go to good schools? Absolutely, right? Well, guess what? I'm out the picture now. Well, guess what? Life insurance is a way to replace that. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah.
And what you know what it is a lot of time, Keishorne, between me and you, what it is, because they're not around, they're not gonna see the financial destruction that they left behind, and that's kind of. Does that make sense, right?
Say that again. You gotta say it because that pierced my heart.
Right? It's because they're not around. They're not going to see the financial destruction that they left behind. So they're thinking like, oh, I'm not going to be around to see it. So who cares what I leave or don't leave? I'm not going to be here anyway, knowing that, wow, I could put my family in a position where they could leave a legacy. But they don't want to hear that talk. Does that make sense, right?
Yo. Wow. Yeah, listen, I hope everybody's taking notes because it's one thing to talk about relationship and love and what you want and what you don't want. But when you talk about the finances, when you talk about the financial stability, when you talk about generational wealth, when you talk about financial advice, just to smarten you up, right? Like Jay-Z said, a smarten up, open the market up, right?
Right,
so
right. There you go.
Changing your mindset, man, that's big. I've never heard that before. And anytime, I just consider myself a very wise, smart person, right?
Right.
But when I haven't heard something before, I give credit when it's due because I've been around a lot and I hear a lot of things, a lot of intelligent things, but I've never heard that part before, that a dead man or a woman, right, or a dead person, period, doesn't see the destruction that they left behind. If everybody on this live, if that sentence right there was good for everyone, just please like put some fire, put an emoji or something, put some fire. Let me see some fire. Put some fire in the comments.
Let's get some fire going on here.
That was crazy. Because you don't see it. You're gone. Yeah. You were selfish when you were alive. Now your family have to deal with the burden of your ignorance. That's crazy.
That is
Wow.
crazy. That is crazy.
Wow.
That is crazy.
So what do you do though? Like matter of fact, what do you do? What do we do, right, to help people get to that level? Like what kind of, because I know I do investments on my own. I do a lot of stocks, investments, and mutual funds and things. And we became very wealthy in those aspects, right? But what are some stuff that you suggest? Two things that people can do right now, today, right? Two simple things, because you might not know it all.
Mm-hmm.
So what are like two simple things that you can do today to get started on that generational wealth?
Well, I think the first thing is one, you got to get in the right mindset about money.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense, right? Start educating yourself about money, right? Instead of scrolling on Instagram all day and instead of just being entertained on social media, go do some research about money. There's a lot of great information. See, we're in the information age right now, where all the information is out there, right? But there's just not enough people out there seeking that information. Does that make sense, right? But you need to go get more educated about money and start setting up some things, right? So the first thing is your credit, right? Start working on your credit, right? Because credit says a lot about a person. Does that make sense, right? Especially
Yeah.
when it comes to a relationship, right? Because your credit, what credit is your ability to pay things on time, right? So
Yeah.
someone having bad credit could mean that they made a lot of mistakes in their life, or it could mean they have bad habits. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
your credit is the first thing that you need to get straight. Because if you're in a relationship with somebody and you guys plan on owning property, you guys plan on having a whole bunch of things in life. You guys follow me, right? You gotta work on your credit. Does that make sense? You gotta get your credit score to a certain. I've seen so many relationships where one person has good credit and the other person doesn't. Well, what if you guys both had good credit, right? And what if you guys both have good incomes? How much more can get accomplished, right? Another thing is you need to get an investment set up, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us are saving money in the bank, right? The banks are not giving us no interest, no return. So you need to get some type of investment account set up, whether it's an IRA, something for your retirement, a 401k through work, right? Mutual fund account, a E-Trade account, a Robinhood account. But you need to be involved in the market. Does that make sense, right? Because that's the only way your money has a chance to grow and it's gonna beat inflation, right? And the last thing is you need to have a life insurance in place. If you have people that depend on you, you should have life insurance. And if God forbid something happens to you, you should want to leave your family in a better position tomorrow than they were today. Does that make sense? But get the mind right first, because if the mind isn't right, then guess what? You'll lose everything. You can give a broke person, meaning when I say broke, I don't mean broke financially, I mean broke mentally. Does that make sense, right? You can give them a lot of money, but they'll spend it all if they don't have the right mindset. Does that make sense, right? But then you can take the richest man in the world right now, Elon Musk, owns Tesla, right? If I took all his money away right now, guess what? Within a matter of a few years, he'll get it back. You know why? Because he has the mindset of a wealthy person. So it's the mind first. Then once the mind is right, then you start setting up certain things, right? After that. And then you're on your way. And start setting goals for yourself, right? Goals are good. I love goals. Most people don't set enough goals. Meaning, when are you going to save 10,000? When are you going to save 20,000? Do you have a goal to, save 100,000 or $1 million? It's not far-fetched. Does that make sense? You can get it done. When is your credit score going to go to 750? Like right now, I'm so mad my credit score is not at 800 right now. Does that make sense? I need to get it to an 800, right? So you need to start setting goals for yourself, right? And work with your partner. Do it as a team. Make it fun. Say, work together so you guys can get those goals accomplished. So that's what I have for you, Keishorne.
Man, no. I always tell people, man, that's excellent advice. That's the best advice, right? Because we help people plan their future, with the right mindset. And like you said, this is a mindset first, right? Everything starts with here. I read a lot of books, Battlefield of the Mind, and every great writer, every book, it tells you straight up, it's your mind. It's how you think. A lot of us, right, just to shift, a lot of us think that we're not worthy and we're not valuable enough, right?
Yes.
A lot of us, we doubt ourselves before we even try.
Yes.
A lot of us make one or two mistakes and then we give up.
Yes.
Right? If I made one or two mistakes in my life, I would have never wrote my first book. If I made one or I gave up, I would never did the second one. I would have never did the third one. I would have never did the fourth or the fifth one. You know what I'm saying? So I would have never got to a level of success if you don't, and that's for everyone, right? Financial success, financial literacy, anything. You will never get to a point in your life if you give up on yourself, or you think that you're not good enough, right? Or you're not worthy. You can't live your life for yourself. At some point, you have to live your life for other people, especially the person you love. Do you know the kind of husband that I would be if I don't set up a financial net for my wife
Exactly.
when I'm gone, right? Because life is short. We all lost people quickly this year. Last year, things just happen quickly, right? Just like that. And it's hurtful and it's painful. But one thing that it taught me is that we have to keep moving. We have to keep moving forward, but we have to put ourselves in a position for success, for our future, and for our family. I don't know about you and everybody else on this line, but I don't want my wife or Chloe, my baby girl, struggling when I'm gone. Exactly. I don't want them to be evicted. I don't want them to move out. I don't want them to beg. I don't want them to be hungry. I don't want them to go broke. I don't want them to starve. And I don't want them to go from house to house looking for a place to live because of my financial ignorance when I was still here. And a lot of people are financially ignorant. Not that they're stupid. I'm not putting anybody down. But what I'm telling you is that right now we're giving you information. Information changes situation, right? If I'm giving you this information, I'm done. I'm doing you a disservice if I don't give you this information. I feel bad. I can't sleep at night if I don't give you this information. I can't just keep it all to myself. So when I do give you this information, and I do tell you about this, it's because I love you. Right. And I think that's why we're here. It's because we love you enough, right, to tell you the information that can change your life. Now, I'm just giving it to you. Whatever you want to do with it, you do with it. Exactly. Right? Whatever you want to do with it, you do with it. But one thing I want us to do this live every Saturday. We're going to do like a live every Saturday to do like money. We're going to talk about finances. We're going to talk about relationships and how relationships play a part in our relationships. I mean, how finances play a part in our relationships. Yes. How money plays a part in our marriages, in our relationships. Yes. And things you can do in order to earn extra income. Number one, we all want to make more money, right? We want to earn extra income. We want to set our family up financially for the future, right? And we want to just do the best we can to learn. Yes. Right. And that's what we do. We're going to follow up with this with a Zoom. We're going to do a private Zoom session for everyone this week that's coming up, guys. If you want to join this private Zoom session, I need you to send me a DM or send Sheldon a DM. If you click the thing on the top, or Princess, if you're on this live, put Sheldon's name again. Princess, put Sheldon's name. What we're going to do, we're going to follow with a Zoom session, and we're going to do a big outline we're going to be writing it down. We're going to give you guys so much information. Man, we're going to set you up crazy, right? It's going to be a free Zoom session. Setting you up free, 100% free. So what I need you to do, I need you to DM me or Sheldon and just say, count me in, right? Or ready. Just type ready. Send me ready. And then we're going to set you up for the Zoom session next week where we're going to be telling everybody how you can double your investments. You know, we're going to be checking, and Sheldon also checks people's life insurance policies and actually help you save money and make more money. Crazy, right? The stuff that he did for me personally and my wife. And if you follow me and you know me, you know I'm all for you and I love you and I care about my followers and I'm here for a purpose and I'm here to help you, right? So Sheldon, you got anything else? I want to answer about 2 or 3 questions because if I don't, they're gonna be crazy. So
no, I mean, not really, man. I think this was great. I'm definitely looking forward to doing more of these in the future. And I think you're providing your viewers great content, right? And I just want to say thank you for all the great work that you're doing, man. And for those out there, listen, I think somebody asked earlier, one of the questions is, I think before you get into a relationship, if I'm a woman getting into a relationship in the year 2021, I think finances has to, when I'm getting into a relationship with someone, obviously there's certain things you want to look into, but finances has to be one of the topics that comes up. Does that make sense, right? I want to be with somebody who's goal-oriented, who's financially, if not secure, on his way to becoming secure. Does that make sense, right? And is focused on his future or her future. You know what I'm saying, right? And these things need to be asked early in the relationship, right? It doesn't mean you're a gold digger. Does that make sense, right? Yeah. No, it means you're an adult and you're smart. Does that make sense, right? And you don't want to be put in a position where, down the road, you're the one taking care of all the responsibilities. You're doing everything, right? And you're being abused, right? And, you have someone using you. Does that make sense, right? See, Keishorne, man, I'm just excited, man. Thank you so much for giving me this platform.
Man, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. We're going to end the live for today. If you guys have any other questions, please DM Sheldon or myself. If you do want to schedule a one-on-one, because we do the one-on-ones, a free one-on-one, teaching about financial literacy, letting you know a little bit more information about earning extra income, or even if you want to know about life insurance or your policy, feel free to DM us and ask us a question. Remember, the question asking is free. Information changes situation. And if we're answering your questions for free and you don't want that, you're doing a disservice to yourself. So Sheldon, thank you so much. I love you, brother. You are amazing. And we're going to follow up because I'm getting a lot of DMs right now from people. We see your DMs. We're getting a lot. So we're going to have a busy day. And guys, until we meet again next week, Saturday, we're going to do this every Saturday for the rest of our life until I'm gone and my life insurance money is going to my family. All right?
All right.
Peace.
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome.